and gentlemen, we are back here for another, I repeat, another live stream. I am feeling a damn sure a lot better. And we got lots of things to talk about. Let's go. Okay. Definitely feeling a lot better today. Sound, as the day has gone on, my voice has sounded a lot better. Really liking that. But we are here live here for the Kings game, which I think depending on who you talk to, you might be thinking this game could go one or two ways. It's going to be an excitement, but who knows? Who knows what it could be? Nevertheless, it's your boy Sim here, basketball fan, data analyst, Jazz fan, here to talk about hoops, have some fun. Let's have some great conversation, and then we'll take it from there. Right now, Jazz are right there in Utah. They got their little culture thing going on. I like that real nice. Isaiah Collier has been the main lead point guard so far. I'm liking it for what he's doing. He's holding down the fort until Keontae comes back, showing everybody what he can do. And to be really fair, it's been like pretty well for his time. But we do got a few things that we do need to talk about. First of all, give me 1 sec. Let me sort myself out and see if I can get everything going. Okay. All right. So what we have here, we got a situation whereby the last time that we did the stream yesterday, there was a few things that happened in certain other games that we didn't talk about. But like I did look at the Hornets kerfuffle in regards to the Detroit Pistons. Now, on my Twitter page, I talked about it, and I probably should. Let me, you know what? Let me change the layout of my screen, and we'll go on my Twitter page, and then we'll take it from there. So, all right, hold on. No, we're gonna. Where is it? Where is it? Likes. There was something here about. No, Shams have got it. Shams talked about it earlier on today. This is what it is. This is what the suspensions look like. Isaiah Stewart, 7 games. Miles Bridges, 4. Moussa Diabate, 4. And Jalen Duren, 2 games. Am I surprised by this? Somewhat. I'm somewhat surprised. I do have to say that I did expect Isaiah Stewart to probably get more. I thought he should get the book thrown at him. If you're a regular fan of the stream, one of the guys here that comes to the stream every now and again, Victim of Fate, I know he's a big Hornets fan, and I got to say that I did think Isaiah Stewart would have gotten a lot more, and I know so did he as well. And he commented on it, talking about Isaiah Stewart, 25 games, and I think under a different NBA, that's probably what you would have seen. But this is a new NBA under Adam Silver, and it's not going to be that way. And Isaiah Stewart winds up with 7 games. And my reasoning and logic behind all of this just really comes down to just the reaction that everybody is given onto this. For me, I found it incredibly entertaining to watch. I've watched it tons of times, the clip, like on both teams. Like I didn't need to watch too much of it to be able to decide, I like this. I like the physicality around it. I mean, maybe if you were getting like multiple fights a game, maybe you don't want to see that. Or if it's a fight like every game, maybe you don't want to see that. But I like the physicality with it. I like the fact that, hey, every now and again, hey, you might get a little bit of fisticuffs. I like it. And I think the suspensions, for what they are, with Jalen Duren with 2-game suspensions, Diabate and Bridges there with 4, I think that that's pretty fair. And Stewart there with 7, I think that's expected. So yeah, I just wanted to follow that up before going on to this Kings Jazz game right here. But nevertheless, that's over. Stewart, we will somehow see back. I look forward to the playoffs to see when the Hornets and the Pistons face off, because I know that's going to be hugely entertaining. I look forward to it. But until then, we're going to watch some Jazz and talk about how good the Jazz could be next season. All right. But until then, let's talk about the Jazz and the Kings right now. And right now, let me stop sharing. Right now, Jazz facing the Kings. Utah up 4-3. I've got like one eye on the TV there, and I gotta say that it doesn't look too appetizing with how the game has gone. You got two teams there that I think the Sacramento Kings probably unwillingly kind of tanking, and I only say that is because when you look at the players that they got, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Domantas Sabonis there, guys a little bit more on the older side, they, particularly LaVine and DeRozan in their early 30s, where, they haven't got much time left. They're one serious injury away from where people will end up saying, hey, they're on the downward end of their career. But this is a perfect situation for the Jazz. And I know the Jazz are, tanking for that draft pick. And I mean, I've said it time and time again, man. Like, I hate tanking. I think it's disgusting. But if you can't beat them, join them, right? So until the NBA decides to, value the integrity of sport and get rid of tanking, period, and just try to find another way for the teams that don't do that well to end up, legitimately and competitively getting a draft pick, that's where things will kind of be in a better place. But, and unless people got suggestions, and I've heard some suggestions out there, like it's one of those where it's not much what we can do. Right now, Kings ball. Right now, Jazz are leading by 9-8. They just get a steal. Jalen Duren right there bringing the ball up, pass it to Isaiah Collier. Isaiah Collier back out there to Jalen Duren. That's a 3 for Jalen Duren. And Duren's right there. I think that's the first 3 of the game. There we go. That one was a little bit loud there, but I'm just going to turn the volume down a bit. But that is one whereby I'm surprised. Well, right now, Jalen Duren. I've got Jalen Duren on my mind. Right now, Jaren Jackson comes out the game. Giving the Jazz a couple minutes, pulling that solid defense right now. Larry Markkanen's still there in the game, though we do have a change there. Cody Williams coming into the game, I believe. So we got Cody, Nurkic, Lowry, Isaiah, and Ace. That's a missed 3 there by Lowry. That's fine. Jazz up by 2 right now. 12-10 with exactly 7 minutes to go. We do have some changes there on the Kings side as well. And I mean, so far the King just not doing that well. DeMar DeRozan missing with that shot there, and Isaiah Collier there putting on the afterburners on that play. Misses the layup though, which is unfortunate. He gets back, almost gets a steal. Great play by Isaiah. I hope he's not going to play, the 48 minutes because, we are a little bit behind. I mean, I guess we got Vince Williams Jr. there, who could play the point guard position. But right now we got Elijah Harkless. We got, I see Blake Hinson there is on the bench. We got a lot of guys there that the Jazz are probably going to be looking to rotate in this game. So the Jazz have got a stacked bench. We got Kevin Love on the bench, Oscar Tshiebwe on the bench, John Conchar, Elijah Harkless, Blake Hinson, Svi Mykhailiuk, Kyle Filipowski. Like, we got a ton of guys. We got full 15 guys on the bench. Like, it's a ton of guys. Like, I'd be shocked if they gave all these guys on the bench. But my guess is that, again, this is another part of the Jazz's tanking strategy. Instead of just pulling Jaren and Lowry out, they're just going to put in guys like Blake Hinson and Elijah Harkless in this game who are not used to the pace of the NBA game because they've been playing in the G League a lot. And Elijah Harkless, like I love, he's an unsung hero and should get a lot more credit for what he's done. And I think could provide real value for the Jazz with his defense at that point guard position in the future. But again, this is just about the tank. It's about the tank. Let's be honest. Let's be really honest about stuff. This is about the tank. So yeah, the game is on break right now. I got a few things I need to do here on the logistical side to try to, promote the stream to the rest of YouTube before at least the game comes back on. But if you are watching the stream, definitely leave a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the game. Well, game looks like it's about to come back on now. Supposedly they're selling Jaren Jackson Jr. jerseys in the team store right now. I'm definitely sure that, I will get one at some point. However, I do need to get my Isaiah Collier one, though. I need a white Isaiah Collier jersey for this season at some point. Because for me, I like Isaiah and Kyle Filipowski from last season have been one of the guys that I've talked about. There we go. There's another 3 there by Lowry Marketing there. DeMar DeRozan there with a nice little mid-D. All right, Jazz ball right now. Cody right there trying to set things up. Lowry there trying to get the block there. It gets blocked there. And DeMar DeRozan there flips it out to the corner. It's a corner 3 by the Kings, but they suck right now shooting that 3 ball. Cody right there getting a layup on the other end. In response to that, Jaren Jackson up on the bench, cheering on 2 of his younger teammates. Here's an interesting stat for you. In the last 6 minutes, Isaiah Collier's got 5 assists. I think he's going to go for another 20 piece. And a biscuit. 20 assists, 10 points. That's what I think he's going to go for. Yeah, Jaren is definitely pleased with that because Isaiah's giving it up. Isaiah will wind up with 25 assists in a game, boy. You got Vince Williams Jr. there on the bench. And I think it's actually good for the climatization of the team to where, like, if a player is going to get traded, he at least he doesn't feel like he's alone. You can see there, like, Jaren looks like he's chilling, just being cool, fitting in right in, no problem. He already knows someone there, so it's easier for him. Lauri Markkanen there with a nice little mid range. Jazz up by 6 right now. Things are looking real sweet here for the Jazz. Gotta love that. Then on the Kings side, we do have some new guys I haven't seen. Isaiah Stevens there. Neat Clifford there in the game, though. I haven't seen much from him this season, but I know before the draft, he was that older player that, he knew his stuff. Lauri Markkanen there getting another bucket. Jazz really playing to win until they get to the fourth quarter. We could sense that Lauri Markkanen there already with 9 points, 2 rebounds. I think we all know how this game is going to go. Maxime Reynaud has the ball right now, but Isaiah Collier is defending him pretty well. That's another missed 3 by the Kings. And is that Kevin Love in the game? We haven't seen Kevin Love for a few weeks now. It's another 3 by the Jazz. Jazz hit a 3. It's another 3 there for the Jazz. Go the Jazz right now, they're bossing it. And we have to remember the Kings are one of the worst teams in the league, and I think I could see why. Their 3-point shot sucks. I don't believe that they have enough offense in that. And the guys that they're playing, and I'm sure that they are also tanking for a draft pick. I probably need to go up and check to see what draft pick that they have this year. But right now, I'm looking at their starting lineup is Precious Achiuwa, probably playing the 4, DeMar DeRozan at the 3, Maxime Reynaud as the center. Devin Carter is going to play in the point with Neat Clifford at 2 guard. Then there is Daquan Plowden, Isaiah Stevens, Dylan Cardwell, Doug McDermott, and Drew Eubanks. Now, I know Doug McDermott and Drew Eubanks. I don't know Dylan Cardwell or Isaiah Stevens or Daquan Plowden. Hold on. I don't know. Most of the players are off their bench. I can tell you that right now. It's an unappealing bench. And I mean, listen, the Jazz just have to really play what's in front of them. They have a bench of 15, and I'm sure everybody's going to get a little bit of minutes. Blake Hinson, we're probably going to see at some point. Obviously, EJ, Elijah Harkless is going to get. He's going to get some minutes as well. Oscar Tshiebwe, I don't think that we've seen so far this season, and then probably some of the other guys. Svi, I mean, we've already seen Kevin Love there play. It's going to be, nice rotation. And I think that's how the Jazz are going to do it. But I think that the Kings are so bad that even if the Jazz didn't have Lowry and Jaren Jackson in this game, I still think they would have won the game. I still think that they would win. So we'll have to see. We will have to see. All right, game's still on break right now. Oh, they've mic'd up Jaren Jackson in this game, I think. Oh, sideline sounds. So he's mic'd up when he's on the bench. All right. Yeah, they got Jaren Jackson mic'd up. I think Utah Jazz are doing really well at keeping everybody on board with staying with Jaren Jackson and keeping everyone excited. And I mean, listen, let's be honest. Like, they should be excited. Wow, it's another three by Bryce. You know, I know there are a lot of people there that are skeptical and wondering, you know, what this means in terms of Walker Kessler. But, you know, I still think it means that, you know, Walker Kessler has a place if he wants to, or like if his team wants to. You know, I'm hearing he wants more than 25 mil, and it'd be great to see both of them play together because I think that is going to be what takes the Jazz to another level is getting a guy and keeping a guy like Walker Kessler along with playing with Jaren Jackson. So yeah. But we got just under 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Jazz are playing really well. And that's Isaiah Stevens getting turned around by Bryce Sensabaugh there on that last layup. Jaren Jackson back into the game. The Jazz are destroying the Kings right now. Kings have 13 points. The Jazz have 30. You put that in perspective. Now we've been on the other end, i.e., Charlotte Hornets, where like we start out a game just badly. Like Jazz are up by 18 right now, with just under 3 minutes left. DeMar DeRozan there, that's a miss. Like, oh wow, man, Kings are real sorry right now. Like honestly, it's unfortunate that someone as good as DeMar DeRozan has to be with the Kings, man. Like, that's just such a terrible team. And I mean, they must have a lot of injuries right now, but I look at that lineup and I'm like, holy crap, like how the mighty have fallen. When you look at where they were, 3 years ago? Just, it's not great. That's a missed three there by the Kings. Jazz doing pretty well. So another three by Kevin Love there. Kevin Love misses with the three. And look, another turnover there by the Kings. I'm just like that this time on Cardwell. Vince Williams Jr. in the game. Good pressure from Vince Williams Jr., who I still think is going to have a chance for his Jazz career. Kevin Love there with another three. There we go. This time he makes it. There it is. The Jazz are up by 21. This is not good for the Kings. Great for the Jazz. You know, because obviously Jazz fans just want to win. That's a turnover there by the Jazz. Jaren Jackson with a turnover, but that's a miss. Vince Williams right there gets the rebound from the miss. All right, Jaren Jackson there with the ball, receives it, cross court. Kevin Love there with another three. That's a miss there by Kevin Love. That's fine there. Jazz still up by 21. 34 for the Jazz, 13 for the Sacramento Kings, with a minute 32 left in the first quarter. All right, Kings there with the ball. It's another steal. Oh, there was going to steal. It's not steal that time. Cody, very close there. Again, another steal. Oh, good defense there. Good post defense there by Bryce Sensabaugh. I was actually listening to Gil's Arena earlier on today, and Kenyon Martin said, how you defending the post is with your chest. And immediately I start thinking, say it with your chest, Lil. I ain't going to say it, but Say it with your chest. Defend with your chest. That's what Bryce just did just there. Did really well on that play. They still called a foul. I don't mind that. Throw a bone to Sacramento Kings right now. They've started off this game like terribly. Like they're down by 20 right now. They're at the free throw line though. But nevertheless, like they make both of them. That time, Daquan Plowden there with both of the free throws on that one. But that's fine. Jazz down. I'm so used to saying Jazz down. Jazz are up by 19. Vince Williams Jr. has the ball right now. I love the way they changed the camera view right now. Jaren Jackson right there getting a nice little hook shot. Increasing that lead back up to 21. And it's the Kings ball now. Plowden with a miss. And there we go. Jazz on the breakaway right now. Vince Williams Jr. has the ball right now. He's going to take his time with a nice masterful stroke. Again, I'm learning more about Vince Williams Jr. He takes a three. Oh, Vince Williams Jr. with a three. Increasing that lead to 14. Sorry, to 20. To 24. My bad, 24. All right, Neat Clifford there with the ball. We got the last 15 seconds left. Shot clock winding down. Neat Clifford there with a long two. It's a miss. They do get a dive and dunk courtesy of Plowden, Daquan Plowden right there. So Jazz lead only to 22 right now. Can they get something? No, it's a turnover there by the Jazz. That is unfortunate. That time the old vet, Kevin Love, with the turnover, unfortunately. And the Kings get another opportunity. It's a three there by DeMar DeRozan. That is a three there. The first quarter being down by 19. And the Jazz end the quarter up 39 to 20. That is a destruction. You got destroyed if you're getting beat 39-20 at the end of the first. That is terrible by the Kings, but fantastic for the Jazz. Can we get a round of applause there for the Jazz? Utah Jazz. All right, it is the end of the first. I'm going to take a bit of a break. I'm going to take a bit of a break. I need to go fill up to get a glass of water, as I've been talking throughout the whole of the first quarter. But we'll be back. I'm going to take a look at some of the stats. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen, get some water, and then I'll be right back so that I can show you guys how everything is. So give me one sec. And then we'll go through the stats on how things look in terms of the Jazz and their performance and why they're doing so well. Because that's the key. Like, why are we doing so well in this game? Is it just the Jazz, or is it because the Kings are that bad? I don't know, but we're going to find out after the break. So just give me a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So I thought I'd put this up. We'll take a look at the stats. The game has just come back on right now, but we'll get to that in a second. This won't take too long. We do have a couple of comments there in the chat. I'll take a look at the comments first. Victim of Fate, welcome back, my brother. Hey, yo, the drama, Victim of Fate there that's been going on with your boys from the Hornets. Dude, I've been loving the coverage, man. Everybody's been talking about the Hornets and the Pistons. But you say, to be fair, it is the Kings. Yeah, let's see. Initially, I thought that. I thought that, like, but you know, maybe it's a one-off. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna be somewhat fair to the Kings and be like, let's really see how things are going first. You know, you also go on to say, I'm having problems with this. Oh, Victim of Fate says, just leaving work at the moment, driving back home. I'll tap in about an hour. Oh, no, hey, bro, no problem. Yeah, don't drive safe, get home safely. When you get home, feel free to come back to stream. We'll still be here in another hour. But this game started at 8. So this probably be going for at least another hour and a half. Yeah, I'd say at least another hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. So yeah, we're good. Victim of Fate also goes in to say, we just won a close game. We almost threw the game away, bro. I was stressing. If the Charlotte Hornets are playing, I'll have to check that. I haven't checked any. Oh, hold on. I haven't checked any of the other scores, so I'm not quite sure. But I'll be checking that out probably up closer to halftime when I do my kind of analysis, though. But okay, let's really take a look at things so then I can kind of get back to the game right now. So the Jazz are up 41-22 right now. Like, you know, because we're just that damn good. We are good. Now let's take a look at what's going on in the game. Like right now, these are going to be changing as I talk because the game's actively going on right now. But the Jazz are up. Like field goal percentage is 59%. The Kings 21%. That's terrible. Terrible by the Kings. They're not 24%, but I mean, like it's just not good enough. Like their 3-point percentage is 23%. Like they suck when it comes to scoring. That's why they're losing. Rebounding, 16 rebounds, not good enough. Jazz had 21. Now the offensive rebounds are doing pretty well, right? But like the defensive rebounds, Jazz are crushing them with. Again, Jazz there with 5 turnovers. Like, see, that's not good. Like, that's where I would have expected, like, yeah, the Kings have 4, but I would have expected the Jazz to have 1 or 2 by now. And I have seen 1 or 2 just watching the game. But against a team like the Kings, who clearly have tons of problems, you expect turnovers to be very little. That's a 3 there. I think that time it's another 3 by Daquan Plowden. But I see the issues. All right. Game is about to take a break now. Well, 9 minutes left in the second quarter, 46-28. This is like, look at the breakdown of the first quarter. Like, this breakdown is so bad. Like the Jazz being up by 19. Like that's so much that like I expect the Jazz to win this. Like even if they were to be like, yeah, we're gonna tank. Like we're in the second half, third and fourth quarter, like we're not gonna do what we need to do. Like I still think that we just have too much talent and too much offense on the bench to whereby like we're not gonna lose this game. We'll probably be in the news more tomorrow because the league is watching us and what we're doing, or particularly what we're not doing. But I could just see that. Uh, Victim of Fate says, let's win by 70. As much as I would like to see that, like, yeah, the Jazz aren't going to do it. I think this team is capable of winning by 70, particularly this game. You know, if you could go and beat a team by 19 in one quarter, like, I think that the Jazz can maintain that. Like, they have no one. Like, all their guys are gone. Like, it's really just DeMar DeRozan. And I mean, DeMar DeRozan looked like he's going to end up with 40 points in this game. Preston Achiuwa is not a real offensive player. Like, I think he's a decent defensive player. I like the young kid, Maxime Reynaud, big guy that can shoot, creative as well, our French guy. Devin Carter, I feel sorry for him. He's someone that I thought the Jazz might have got in the Cody Williams draft, but injuries have really messed him up. And Nick Clifford, you know, this is a rookie season. And even in this game, just hasn't been clinical enough. Just not good enough. Not good enough there for the Kings overall. Everybody, besides Victim of Fate, if there's anybody there who, you know, if you're watching the game, let me know what your thoughts are on the game. Who do you think is going to win? I mean, I know as the game goes on, it's becoming quite obvious and apparent who that is, but let me know who you're rooting for. Are there any Kings fans watching this? What do you got to say there? I've been pretty critical of your team, so let me know if you're a Kings fan. Like, how you like to see this game go? Like, what do you think you can get from this? Like, what are your goals for the rest of the season? All right. Jazz ball right now. Ace Bailey right there has got it. Jazz lose the ball. They get it back. Conchar is in the game. Pass it to Ace Bailey, and it's a corner by Ace Bailey, but that's a miss. Devin Carter gets the rebound. He's coming on that, and then it's going to be a foul that time by Conchar on the breakaway. He's going to force for a side out for the Kings ball. James Ward says, no way we lose this game. Kings have a very weak lineup, so many of their players are out. I agree to that. I don't think that we're going to lose that, but listen, the Jazz right now, their goal is looking for defeat at the jaws of victory. And I think that they are looking to try to get as many losses as they can. I don't know. We all know that they're trying to tank. Like, I have tried to deny that I know that the Jazz are trying to tank and be really positive and been like, you know what? I want to win. I want to win. But like, the Jazz keep finding new and inventive ways to lose games. But I hope we get the win, because as a fan, like, you want to win, you know. And I think what I've seen from the Jazz so far, like, I like their play. I like Vince Williams Jr. Of course, I like Jalen Duren. And I see the potential. I really do. All right, that's a missed three there by Devin Carter. Jazz have the ball back. Vince Williams Jr. now has the ball. Pass it to, that's a nice pass there to Vince Williams there to Nurkic, and Nurkic there passing it to the old vet, Kevin Love, and he gets a layup. Jazz lead still at 21. Maxime Reynaud right there trying to do things. Devin Carter there. Nick Richards with a three. Sorry, Clifford with a three. That's a miss. And Vince Williams Jr. is going to come down the court. He's going to try to set things up. Taking his time. Kevin Love there receives the ball from Nurkic. Nurkic there. He's looking for Vince. Doesn't manage to get to Vince in time. Vince takes it out, but that's fine. He'll get used to those Jusuf Nurkic passes over time. But I like this team, man. I really like the Jazz. Really like what we have. Really like what we can do. And I think just fans like myself, we really would love to kind of teleport ourselves to next season because I think it's going to be so much better. All right, that's another missed three by the Kings. Jazz get the rebound, courtesy of Yusuf Nurkic. We do have some changes, though. Vince Williams Jr. is out the game. Isaiah Collier comes back in. And we'll also take up player stats at halftime. I haven't looked at any player stats throughout this game. But if I had to say Isaiah Collier, at least in the first 5 minutes of the game, was on like 5 assists. So I expect him to probably be on about 6, 7 by the time we get to halftime. I think he might go for a 20-piece and a biscuit. So 20 assists, 10 points, I think we might get from Isaiah Collier this game. That's another three, this time by Cody Williams, dropping threes. My sound effect duties, when those threes drop, the mega horn has to sound. And we do it for both teams. Like, we don't discriminate here. We give, equal opportunities. Where there's threes for one, there's threes for all. All right, Devin Carter to the line to shoot two. Makes the first one. Most likely, I guess he'll probably make the second one. He ends up going to the line because of Cody Williams there. But to be fair, that was some good defense there by Cody. Bro, D-Rom, Vince Williams Jr., looks nice. You know what I like about him? I like the fact that he's a big guard that he's probably a two guard, but he can play the point, brings the ball up real nice, plays defense, has got the physicality, and we going forward, again, a nice little option to have. If we're talking if we was to put out a defensive five, Vince Williams Jr. is now in there. My defensive five is more like Elijah Harkless at the 1, Vince Williams Jr. at the 2, probably Cody at the 3. Cody's really impressing me at the 3. Obviously, Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 4. And then Walker Kessler at the 5. That's my old defensive lineup. And I like that. All right. Jazz still got the ball right now. Still up by 22. 56 for the Jazz. 34 for the Sacramento Kings. Looks like it's going to be a turnover. Jaren Jackson Jr. coming back into the game, along with Lauri Markkanen, Ace Bailey, Cody Williams, and Isaiah Collier. That is the lineup right now, and that lineup looks pretty saucy. There goes a nice little layup there. I think that's Precious Achiuwa there. Yes, it is. Giving a layup there for the Kings. Jazz try to go for a dunk, but that's a miss. Unfortunately, it's a 3 by Neat Clifford. That's another. That's another miss there by the Sacramento Kings. Jazz trying to get the rebound. Ball comes off. It looks like the ball came off of the Kings, but they're saying it is the Kings' ball. Really surprised about that one. All right, Maxime Reynaud has the ball now. Pass to Precious Achiuwa. Achiuwa out there to Reynaud. Reynaud there to Carter. Carter right there with the ball now. Carter right there making him dance. Carter right there, fadeaway over Ace. That's a miss. There's nothing but air on that one. Lauri Markkanen gets the rebound, and Jaren Jackson right there bows down to the basket, gets fouled. He's going to go to the line to shoot 2. He's going to help us restore that 22-point lead that we have. And I think we have the option of kind of maintaining that throughout the season. James Swartz says Cody's 3-point percentage hasn't been too bad since he's had meaningful minutes this season. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. I'd have to look at it, but I would say the eye test tells me yeah, because when he started out this season, I would say he's been pretty poor at shooting the three. But over the last month, I have noticed that he's been shooting well. Like he's been dropping threes. Like in this game, I'm pretty sure Cody's made at least 1 3, if not 2. When I would say prior to that, at least late last year when the season first started, Cody would go games without making any threes. And it wasn't like he was taking a lot of threes. Like he might take 2 or 3 threes a game and don't make any of them. So like, given time, Cody will be a better player. Like, what does that look like? I still think that like his ceiling is a rotation player. Like, I don't see anything more than that. Like he would have. Yeah, no. I still don't see him to be like anything more of a rotation player. I think similar to what you see like Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Like I think that could be kind of him. Like maybe at his peak, he's gonna be like really good, solid defensively, and then could give you like 15 to like 19 at his max. And I think that's great, but for me, like I think when it's all said and done, he's just gonna end up being a rotation player because guys like Ace, like for me, I think that there's something really there with Ace Bailey. James Swore also goes on to say near league average since he was starting. Really? Okay. Nice. I'm not surprised. Yeah, because if he's been starting now for the past, I'm pretty sure like month and a half. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. And you know the reason, I think part of the reason is that I think Cody's now convinced himself to realize that like he's pretty good. He provides a value to the team. Because I personally feel like Cody Williams is a confidence player. And I think last season, I think his confidence was shot. And it must have been really hard for Cody to convince himself that he was good when his performance said otherwise. But no, he's been playing well. But I do have to say, I also like the way how the Jazz are playing defense right now. They're using games like this in order to practice their defense. Like the last couple of plays there that the Kings have made, the Jazz, Isaiah Collier and Ace Bailey, they've been double teaming Devin Carter, trying to force him to make mistakes, force him into the backcourt violation, force him to for the turnovers. That's the type of game that you want to see there from the Jazz. But the Jazz playing really well in this game. They're super excited. But Jazz are up by 24 right now. Game's looking real nice. No complaints about it. But the game is on break. The Jazz are up now 62-38 with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. I'm going to take a quick break myself, and then we will be back after the break. Okay, we are back. All right, we got 2 minutes, 38 seconds left in this game. It looks like I missed a little bit of time. Looks like about 20 seconds. Larry Markkanen's at the line at the moment. He makes both free throws. Jazz are up by 26. Like, holy crap. Like, this is getting worse. Oh, there's a steal there by the Jazz. Isaiah Collier right there, barreling down. He gets another couple buckets. Jazz are up by 28, 66 to 38. At the beginning of the stream, one of the comments there in the chat was the Jazz should go up and try to win by 70. And I laughed at it. Yes, I laughed at it. However, I think in this game it is possible. And if we don't win by 70, we're going to win somewhere close to that. Charlotte Hornets destroyed us by what, 50? Maybe the Jazz could beat the Kings by 50. I mean, you know, the Jazz already up by 28. By halftime, we could be up by 30. We could increase that. It could happen. Shout out to all the comments there in the chat. Do comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It does help the channel out. And as a matter of fact, I was supposed to say this at the beginning of the stream. Thank you to everybody here that managed to get the channel to 150 subscribers. Like, I really appreciate that. Like, I just started streaming this season, and just to see that, like, we've now approached a little bit more than halfway in the season, and I got to 150 subscribers. I really do appreciate that one. So yeah, I hope to see what the second half of the season after the All-Star break really shows. And yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And then there's playoff basketball time. Playoffs, man. Playoffs are going to be fun. Playoffs are going to be fun. I'm going to try to watch as many of them as I possibly can. There are a couple of teams that I hope make it to the playoffs, and then, you know, I'll arrange some streams for that. Unfortunately, it does mean that, you know, my Utah Jazz won't be making it to the playoffs, but that's fine. That's fine. I know that there are a couple of guys there. I hope the Hornets make it to the playoffs. You know, we got some Hornets fans that also watch the stream. I know we got a couple of Lakers fans that also watch the stream. So we'll check them out as well. Me personally, also, I also like the Celtics, and I like the Pistons. I like the Knicks. I'll be also watching those. The Warriors. I'll go and watch at least Draymond. I want to see him crash out. You know, who he's going to put in a headlock first. That's going to be a title of a live stream one day for sure. But it's going to be a lot of fun. That's another three there by the Jazz. That time, Isaiah Collier right there. The Jazz have under 90 seconds to go here in this second quarter. Devin Carter with a three. That's another miss there. That is, like, what a terrible three-point shooting team, boy. Wow. Jalen Duren right there with a miss on the layup. There's going to be a turnover there by the Jazz. Kings are going to get the ball back. Jazz are still up by 29, though. They're up by 29. All right, Devin Carter there with the ball. Now pass it to DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan back to Carter. Carter right there, avoiding going for the dunk, but pass it to Precious Achiuwa, who gets the dunk there in the paint. That's too easy. That is too easy there for the Kings. And they're at 42 points right now. Jazz have the ball now, courtesy of Nurkic. Pass it to Jaren Jackson. He gets a bucket. And then there's the last 15 seconds left here in the second quarter. And it's going to be exciting. Kings there, get a bucket there. 44 for the Sacramento Kings, 71 for the Jazz. Maxime Reynaud gets a block on Isaiah Collier, who tries to finesse it to get a three-point shot there. In the end, it doesn't work. And that's going to be it. Jazz go in at halftime, 71-44. And again, it's another quarter where the Jazz just dominate the Kings. It's just too much talent, too much attacking prowess there from the Jazz. Bryce is talking about how the Jazz have controlled the pace through defense. Speaking at halftime with Lauren Green. Yeah, Bryce is talking about moving around, being a screener, working with what the defense is giving him. Bryce Sensabaugh have been pretty good. Like, you know what? Bryce is one of those guys that I kind of worry about. Like, is he going to be with the Jazz long term? Because, like, he's got a weird skill set. Like, I know everybody wants to funnel him towards being like a specialist shooter, but the Jazz really need him to be an all-rounder, someone that can shoot, pass, score, coming through clutch, play multiple positions. So him playing the 2 and a bit of the 3. And I think this season he's kind of shown that. It's really interesting with what's happening to Bryce Sensabaugh and how Will Hardy's using him, because the Jazz are finding a way to use him more in a well-rounded role, because I think that's where you're seeing he can be a lot more valuable, because I think that right now Bryce probably isn't consistent enough to be seen as a specialist. But I like what Bryce is giving, man. Like, and I think he's gonna be just fine now with the Jazz. But it is halftime. We're going to take a look at some player stats. I haven't taken a look at any of them. So give me 1 sec and I'll share my screen, and then we can take a look at how the players have been doing. Give me 1 sec, guys. Okay. All right, there we go. Share screen. Share that one. All right. So this is how it looks right now. So we got Lauri Markkanen in there, 13 points, 13 minutes, plus 16. Like, him and Jaren Jackson have been the Jazz's best players. Like, they just haven't found a way to stop those two. Like, offensively, Lauri's been great. You know, Lauri's gotten a ton of rebounds there. Jaren Jackson, not many rebounds, only 1 rebound as well for Jaren Jackson. But in this team, it doesn't matter, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys here that rebound. Like, we don't need Jaren Jackson to rebound. The NBA just want to see Jaren Jackson rebound. And I say, no, you won't. You're not going to see him rebound. Like, we don't need him to rebound. The rest of everybody else will do the rebound. But I like, you know, what Lauri Markkanen has put throughout this game. Jaren Jackson, I like his impact on what he's had this game. Just his defensive mindset, he is changing the way how the young players are playing. Just like real talk. He's changing the way how they're playing. They're now coming into games thinking defense first. The amount of times that I've seen Isaiah Collier and Ace Bailey, in particularly, double team Devin Carter there, that's what you want, to force the other team to make mistakes. I can see that. Like, this plus 17 is no joke. No joke there, that plus 17, because Isaiah Collier has been really good defensively. Really good. He has chased down blocks. He has tried to harass, is probably the best word to describe Isaiah Collier so far in that first half. He's harassing Devin Carter. He's harassing other players. He's out here defending against Maxime Reynaud, who is the center, the 5, the big man. Defending against him. It don't matter. He'll defend against you. That's why I love Isaiah Collier. Isaiah has been brilliant. And I hope they keep in the game for just a little bit longer so Isaiah Collier could wind up with a double-double. He's got 7 points so far in that first half, 9 assists. He's perfectly capable of going for 20 or more assists and 10 points. Perfectly. I'm not sure if the 20 assists are going to happen this game, because I think that when you have all of these guys here, who most of these guys don't get a lot of, like Blake Hinson, Elijah Harkless are not getting a lot of games. Same thing with Oscar Tshiebwe. Svi Mykhailiuk has kind of been in and out, particularly, especially since Vince Williams has come. And then you got John Konchar as well. Like, those guys are going to need minutes. And I expect most of these guys to replace these guys here in the second half. Who else? I think Cody's just done well. Look, Cody, plus 20. Gotta love that. Like, defensively, Cody's been really good. 50% from 3, 50% from the field. He's got 5 points in 13 minutes, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Like, good, solid all-around performance from him. Bryce there has been great. He's got 8 points. Bryce is the best player off the bench. And I think that's why they kind of see him more as a bench guy. And that's because he just gets free reign to use the full extent of his powers, you might say, when he's on the court. Also, I do like Vince Williams Jr. as well. I know I've said this before, but I do like what he's given in this game. Good, solid overall Vince Williams Jr. Good, solid defensively, and gives you some offense too. But I look to see Elijah Harkless, Svi Mykhailiuk, Oscar Tshiebwe, Filipowski, and Blake Hinson. But I think more so probably Oscar Tshiebwe, Elijah Harkless, Blake Hinson, and Svi Mykhailiuk. Kyle Filipowski, we see all the time. But I expect the guys that you normally don't see on our bench to play. That's what I expect to see. And then when you look at these stats, they look 59% from the field for the Jazz, 50% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line. And then when you look at it from here, this is the Kings. 29% from the field, 22% from 3, and 80% from the free throw line. Like, this just isn't good for the Kings. It's terrible. And I mean, like, what are they doing here? Like, see, I watched the game. I didn't even realize Devin Carter had 13 points. Because his 13 points, it almost feels like it's meaningless. Nick Clifford is struggling in this game. Like, every shot he's taking, this is just bad. It's just really bad. DeMar DeRozan putting up solid numbers there, but overall, man, this Kings team is just not great, and a lot of their main hitters are just not there. Like Russell Westbrook is out. And then Levine isn't there. It's just not a good one. Not a good one at all. Nevertheless, that's my thoughts about the game. I'm going to take a break, but leave your comments below and let me know what you think about the game. If you haven't commented already, obviously. I'm liking what I see from the Jazz, and hopefully the Jazz could go out there and get a win. But I'll take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. And we're back in the third quarter. Jazz are up by an insane amount right now, 71-46. We all going to the line though. Or Kings are going to the line in this game. All right, now Nick Clifford, he has had a terrible time, Nick Clifford. He makes it 47 there for the Sacramento Kings. Jazz, they're still with 71. I think it's pretty safe to say the Jazz are going to win this game right now. A lot of the seats are empty, not because they've left the game. Ace Bailey there with a three. Seats are empty, not because the Jazz have been bad, but because of how good. Oh, that's another three there. Everybody's busy getting hot dogs and pizzas because the Jazz have just been that damn good. Isaiah with another three. Oh my God, Isaiah Collier's hitting threes. Isaiah's hitting threes, baby. There we go. Isaiah with a three. That's what Isaiah's second three of this game. Is that Isaiah's second three? Yes, it is. Isaiah's 100% from threes this game. And spoiler alert, my guy Isaiah Collier does have a double-double. He's got 10 points and 10 assists right now, Isaiah Collier. Looking very, very John Stockton-esque. You gotta love that. In one of my last videos, I compared him to like he could be the Jazz's TJ McConnell coming up off the bench, providing the Jazz something really unique, really different, especially if the Jazz are going to go with Keontae George being the guy. Isaiah Collier could really give you something special there. And I'm loving what he's given. That's a block there by, I think that's Nurkic on, who's the number 32 again for the Sacramento Kings? By Caldwell. Dylan Caldwell. All right, Caldwell's at the line to shoot two. Jazz right now are up by 30, 49-79. He misses the first one there, Caldwell. Right there trying to get his composure locked and down tight with exactly 10 minutes left here in the third. He does make the second one, Caldwell, given the Sacramento Kings just over 50 points right now. The Jazz ball right now. Devin Carter right there, marking Isaiah Collier. Isaiah looks way bigger than Carter. No, I can't say way bigger than, but he looks bigger than Carter. Yusuf Nurkic right there. Thought he was going for a three. Isaiah there, top of the key three. That's a miss there by Isaiah. Isaiah Collier with only his first miss three of the game. All right, now that's a steal there by Ace Bailey. He passes it. He passes it to Isaiah. Isaiah there trying to go for another layup. He misses on that one, but that's fine. Again, Ace Bailey also having a Ace Bailey has good game. Like, if you don't look at the points wise and just look at his value to the team, Ace Bailey's value to the team is incredibly, really good. The guy rebounds, he blocks, he steals, like, he works incredibly hard. Like, just wait for the day that he starts being consistent at shooting. Oh my God. Ace Bailey's going to be fantastic. He's going to be a two-way player that gives you everything. He's going to be a guy that we're going to have as our core piece while still having Larry Market in there, while still having Jaren Jackson Jr. there. It's going to be great. Right now, Ace Bailey in this game, he's got 6 points in 19 minutes, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Just, pretty good. He's 2 out of 4 from 3. He is only 40% from the field. We want to see him do a little bit better on that. He's only taken 5 shots, though, for Ace Bailey. But overall, I'm very happy with Ace Bailey and his performance this season there for the Jazz. Cardwell there trying to shake things up. Pass it to DeRozan. DeRozan there with a midi. That's a miss. Nurkic right there. He gets the rebound. And Isaiah Collier right there trying to set it up for Lowry. Gets it to Lowry off. The Kings get a block. Lowry there ends up getting a bucket. Jazz up by 33 right now. This game has completely gone completely away from the Sacramento Kings. I can officially say that I think that they're a terrible side, or at least the side that are facing us today. I am a fan of Zach LaVine and Russell Westbrook, but they are not playing today. They are not playing today, and right now, Sacramento Kings getting judged by the sword right now, and they are getting cut left, right, and center right now. So game is on break right now. Right now, the Jazz are up in this quarter 12-6. 12-6. Only there's a little over 8 minutes left in the quarter, which means that it's been almost four minutes that have been played. So about a third of the quarter. So when you're thinking about that, a third of the quarter is almost gone. Jazz have scored 12 points. That's a potential quarter output of 36 because 12 threes are 36. Compared to the Sacramento Kings, who now have 6. So we're talking 18 points for the Kings and 36 for the Jazz. That's how this game is looking. It's not looking great, at all. And I want the Jazz to make a statement piece that we can play. I want them to make that statement piece. Let's go out there and win. I want to see Stephen A. Smith talk about the Jazz. That one game they're tanking and another game they're slapping teams by 30. That's what I want to see. Shout out to the 2 people there in the chat. Let me know what your thoughts are on the game. If you haven't left a comment there so far, do leave your comments there below. Much really appreciate it. I really want to look to kind of connect with as much people as I possibly can. When I do these streams, the more people that comment there, the better. They do make everything fun. They inspire me in terms of maybe something I could be working on in the future to kind of make the streams better. I know one of the things that people have asked is to put the points somewhere so you can see the points. And I know that there are other streams out there that have that, and I don't know how they do it, because anytime that I was doing the point stuff before, I couldn't, it just wasn't working. As a matter of fact, maybe if I do this, I'll have to kind of play around and experiment, but I'm pretty sure that I can't just put the points there in the background whilst doing the stream. I'll have to come up with a way and figure it out, but yeah. Okay, we do have, I think Jaren Jackson's father is actually at the game right now, and he's watching it. They just had the camera pan to him. They're right now talking about Will Hardy and the way I was playing, like in terms of tactics. They're trying to get used to the way I was playing. It's he called it intriguing. and they're talking about how Will Hardy's system is designed to have more than one option. And I completely agree that, like, you see that. Because it's like I get it, Jaren Jackson Jr., like he wants to be a star. And but right now it's the way how our system is designed is sharing is caring. And you see guys that are really getting a light shined upon them, like Yusuf Nurkic, like who was treated like as a pariah, who was kind of treated as a pariah by NBA teams and by a lot of NBA fans. But the Jazz go about and turn him into a guy that could be super useful. I really hope like we keep with Yusuf Nurkic, but if just passing and moving and cutting is gonna allow the guys to shine, like I don't think there's a problem with that. Guys like Vince Williams Jr. will be pretty good to have. And I think, the way our Will Hardy has it is that the Jazz are not relying on one person to do everything. Like ISO basketball is great. It's great to watch, especially if you're a basketball fan, aficionado, but you really have to be like really, really good to excel at ISO basketball in the NBA. So the way our Will Hardy has it is that he knows he's not going to have the best talent, and he's playing in a way to get the best out of the guys he has. And I have no problem with that. And I think JJ Jados will, I think they're going to enjoy it. Of course, I think Jaren Jackson, he's thinking of the future. He's thinking about brand. He's thinking about what type of player he wants to be in 4 years. Because, what it is even though he signed a 5-year deal, his last year is a player option. So I think the Jazz after like year 3 really will want to know, does he like Utah? Does he like the Utah Jazz? And, if we could if the Jazz could get him down nailed to another deal, that would be absolutely fantastic for the Jazz organization, their future. You can't guarantee any title or anything like that, but if you're talking in terms of being legitimately competitive, I think it would guarantee like 10 years worth of competitiveness, bare minimum. We do got a comment there in the chat. Oh, Project Fortnite, what's going on, my man? Project Fortnite says, thoughts on Jaren Jackson Jr. going to Utah? Yes, I think you haven't been here for a while, and I've kind of been up and down on the games recently. I've been a bit ill, but my thoughts on Jaren Jackson Jr. is that he's been really good. I think this gives us a really good player, a player that we need. Like we all know, you come and join the streams, like the Jazz suck at defense, but now him coming into this team, it makes us better defensively. And like I'm thinking, okay, if we get Walker next year to come back, if we manage to sign him, like it's gonna look really, really good for the Jazz. And I think Jaren Jackson's part of that. I could see his effect on the court right now. Guys like Ace Bailey and Isaiah Collier and Kyle Filipowski, the way how they're playing defense is that they've got their defensive brain like switched on. And I'm really liking it because now it's like defense first. And I really like that model. And if we can do that, then I think anything is possible. I think at the very least, it allows the Jazz to go out there and be competitive. I think it means that we can go out there and make the playoffs. And now from then onwards, like after the playoffs, is a whole nother story. Like what is it that these guys could do? But I think that we're now building a platform that we can be able to do that. And that's what Jaren Jackson gives us. So I think we're in a great position. All right now. So thank you very much for the comments there, Project Fortnite. What about yourself, though? I think Project Fortnite, you're a Lakers fan, right? Or are you? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're just a Lakers fan. Are Are you also a Hornets fan as well? I know you were on that stream, but I'm pretty sure you're just a Lakers fan. But Jazz are in a great position. Really good position. All right, game's getting ready to come back on right now. They just showed some of the highlights. Lauri Markkanen there. He's in the game. Like Lauri's playing really well. Like Jaren isn't getting in the way of Lauri. Lauri's right there doing his thing. And I mean, of course, it means that Lauri is sometimes playing the 4, but he's also playing the 3 there as well. And I think him playing the 3 and the 4 is going to be situational. There's going to be times where Lauri's going to have to play the 3, Jaren play the 4, and Walker play the 5. Like I could see that situation. But the Jazz have so many players that provide that flexibility. Like, look. Again, we talk about the defense earlier on. Lauri's running back, chasing back. Like, and I know that right now they're kind of like on a high and on an injection of, Jaren Jackson being there. But, I think we all gotta, I want this to continue. Jazz keep doing this. They put themselves in a great light. So we got a little over 5 minutes left. Jazz are up by 29. Make that 27. Maxime Reynaud there getting a hook shot over Lauri Markkanen. All right, Maxime Reynaud makes that bucket. Jazz is still up by 27 right now. And shout out to the 7 people there in the chat. Much appreciated. Let me know your thoughts are on the game. Jazz right here dominating this game. I got to say that. I think we're kind of plus, just playing for the pleasantries. Jazz are doing really well, playing really good defense. Everybody's getting to touch the ball. Everybody's getting an opportunity to shine. Really like it. I think that's Neat Clifford there with a shot. That's a miss. Vince Williams Jr. now has the ball now. He looks to set things up. Look at Vince Williams Jr. with a 3. That's a miss. Lauri gets the ball now. Lauri right there passing it to Bryce. Bryce then attempted to go for the 3. Comes in on the inside, drives to the basket. And getting the Jazz back up by 2. Now it's 59 for the Kings, 87 for the Jazz. I like that last play there by Bryce Sensabaugh. Nice one there by Bryce. Getting a little hang time there by Bryce on that one. All right. Jazz still up by 27. Sacramento Kings now with 60 points. Utah Jazz with 87. Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. coming into the game now. Lauri looks like he was playing the 4 on that one. Yeah, so I think Lauri was playing the 4. Jaren Jackson's going to play the 4. Is now playing the 4. Kevin Love is probably going to play the 5, but obviously because Jaren Jackson could also play the 5, like Jaren Jackson's going to switch at times and play the 5, and Kevin Love also drop into the 4. So this is the great impact that Jaren Jackson's going to allow us to play, because it means that the Jazz now have the flexibility to switch at the 5 and the 4, which I know that ideally they probably would have wanted that with Filipowski, but like they really don't need it. And that's not to say we don't need Filipowski. Filipowski ain't getting nowhere. Like Filipowski is a nice piece to have. And I think that as long as you give some minutes to Jaren Jackson playing the 5 at times, because there's going to be moments where like you're going to want him on the court to play the 5. You can play Filipowski at the 4 and then Lowry at the 3. It might not be the most kind of mobile front court that you might want, but in terms of size, if that's what you're going for, if that's what you need, then that's a good front court to have. But my guess is that the lineup that the Jazz are probably going to end up having is that it's going to be it's definitely going to be Walker at the 5. I think you have to play Jaren Jackson at the 4. There's going to be a question about Lowry at the 3. And especially if you want to balance things out, maybe you start with Lowry at the 3, but I think as the game goes on, you don't have Lowry at the 3. Then you're probably going to have Ace at the 2 and Keontae at the 1. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm sure I'm going to be wrong at this, but that's just what I'm thinking right now. All right, Jazz up by 31 right now after doing pretty well in these last couple of plays. Bryce Sensabaugh there with a 3. That's a miss by Bryce. Jazz feeling pretty confident right now in the way how they're playing. Right now, they are feeling probably too confident. Cody Williams getting a bucket on that last couple of plays. All right. Kings there trying to go for a layup. They don't do pretty well. Kings there with an open 3. That's a miss. Wow, how badly can they suck at 3s? Holy crap, boy, they suck. Whoa. Isaiah Collier just bullied Maxime Reynaud. I mean, literally, it's just wrong. Just so Isaiah Collier is just too much, man. Like I'll tell you this, man. I love Keontae George. But if the Jazz are ever like, hey, like, we want to ride with Isaiah Collier playing the 1, I don't think they could ever like make a bad decision on that. Like I really don't, because Isaiah's strength playing that 1, like James Swartz says 30-point lead, not seen this for a while. Yes, and I've watched most Jazz games this season. We haven't seen this for a while. We've got beaten by 30, but I think this game has come just at the right time. You think about it, over the last 24 hours to 36 hours, everybody's been talking about the Jazz and the level of tanking that they're doing. So now we get accused of tanking. Now they're going to go up and say, oh, so now the Jazz are out here slapping teams by 30. Jazz are playing really well right now. All right, Jazz at least sleeping on defense on that one. Come on now, let's maintain this lead of 30. Jaren Jackson kind of sorting the Jazz out, getting a rebound on that last play. Bryce Sensabaugh goes in for the layup. Again, another easy way. We got 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Jazz up by 32. So, James, we're just increasing this lead right now. We are not stopping. This is just delightfully beautiful to watch. This is where I can honestly say I wish I was at one of those games to go there, sit there courtside and watch the Jazz play. DeMar DeRozan there going for mid-range, but that doesn't work out. All right, we got 2.6 seconds left in the third quarter. It's going to be Jazz ball right now. Kevin Love tried to hoof it down court, but Precious Achiuwa managed to get something on it and stop it for starting up. Bryce Sensabaugh gets the bucket. Jazz are up 34, and they hit 100 points in that third quarter. You gotta love that. And I think, you know what? This whole round, this whole quarter deserves a round of applause. The Jazz up 100-66. They're up by 34. The game is virtually over now. We're just more like, what exactly is it that the Jazz can accomplish? And they can accomplish a lot. Like right now, Isaiah Collier is on a double-double. He's at 12 points and 11 assists. He's got 1 rebound. Maybe they want to give Elijah Harkless a go and see how he does. Jusuf Nurkic, Jaren Jackson Jr., Larry Marketing, like they're all at like just a little over 20 points. My guess is that they will all get to 25 and then they're done. They're done. Or I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Lowry, we don't see Jaren Jackson, we don't see Jusuf Nurkic for the rest of the game, and maybe we don't even see Isaiah Collier for the rest of the game, and we just see Ace Bailey, Kevin Love, Cody Williams, and like Bryce Sensabaugh. Like I could see a situation like that. Like Kyle Filipowski hasn't even gotten a game in here, but. You know, maybe they might want to put Blake Hinson, Oscar Tshiebwe, Svi Mykhailiuk, Elijah Harkless. Like, there's so much things that you can do. But what it does still remain is that the Jazz are playing really well. We are going to win this league. And the only question right now is how much they're going to win by. So I'll leave that question with you guys. How much of the Jazz are going to win by? Who knows? Could be by 50. But I'm going to go get a new glass of water and rehydrate. And I'll be right back for the fourth quarter. Okay. We are back now. Let me remove this. Here we go. Back now, fourth quarter. It's 106 to 73. This game has flown by. And you know what they say? Time flies when you're having fun, right? Because the Jazz surely are having fun right now. That's a 3-point shot there. Bryce Sensabaugh right there knocking threes. That's their 109. I think that means the Jazz are up by 36. Holy crap. The Jazz aren't even defending threes right now. Like, that's how bad the Kings are right now. The Jazz are not even defending the 3-point shot for the Kings anymore because they've been that bad. Bryce there going for a mid-range. He misses on that one. Oh, that's a pretty interesting one. All right, we got about 8 minutes left in this quarter. Game is going on break right now. I can't believe I was away for that much amount of time. That's crazy. All right. Let me see what is like. What are they saying on social media about this game? That's if they're saying anything. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Are they saying anything in regards to this game? Because I'm pretty sure that the rest of the NBA are watching this just to see what the tanking levels are like. And as a matter of fact, that's a question for you guys. What do you guys think about tanking, just in general? I've said it time and time again on this channel. Like, I'm not a fan of tanking. And unfortunately, it means that I have to stomach it. But I also think that you can't then complain about tanking from Utah when everybody else has done it. Like, you just can't. I don't see much here in terms of, apart from Jazz media, which are the Jazz beat writers like Andy Lawson does, talking about the game. They're still talking about Bobby Marks and his comments there about what the Jazz are doing, messing around with the integrity. We are in the fourth quarter, and I don't think Lauri Markkanen has played. Yeah, like Lowry's only played 21 minutes. Jaren Jackson there with 22. All right, Filipowski's in the game. Oh, my God. Filipowski's in the game, boy. Hey, one of my favorite players at Utah Jazz. Kyle Filipowski's in the game. He's going to get some time. And if he's playing, you know what that means. That means no more Jaren Jackson, no more Lowry, people. They're not playing in this fourth quarter. All right, so when I made my comment there about the draft, James Swartz says tank needs to be done this season. Really good draft with top 3 prospects. He also goes on to say, we are not a big free agent destination, so need to depend on the draft as much as possible. Very true. Very true. And it's unfortunate that that is the situation. And I do think that, like, I think that teams that struggle with, like, again, free agency just because of location, like, there's nothing that the Utah Jazz could do around that. Like, I think things should be done, but I just don't think that tanking should be the reason to be able to get to it. Like, I think Utah should be able to have access to those picks based on how they've performed in the previous season. But when it's like what I see is being done, I'm just like, I don't know a way around it. I don't know a way how, like, you could stop this from happening and for people to be able to go out hard every single night, and then you to kind of assure that the Jazz are going to get a top 3, a top 5 prospect. I don't know how that works. Because I think if it was that way, then I think the teams would just go out there and play. But yeah, I think it's ridiculous. But I mean, it's like what James just said. You know, there's the top 3 prospects that everybody's talking about, probably even top 4 prospects, depending on who you talk to, that everybody wants. And then there's also this. This is probably more Utah specific and to a lot of kind of smaller markets, like OKC. But you know, that's those are the things. Those 2 comments there from James, like, that's what Adam Silver there has to go out and resolve if you want to get rid of tanking. Those are the 2 things that you got to fix. If you fix those, then there'll be, you know, you kind of fix tanking in a way, because then there'd be no need for it. But the fact that you're consistently putting out weekend teams, because I'm sure Keontae George is ready to go. But that's just too much. Like, I get it. It's too much. You put Keontae George out there with Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr., like, they're gonna win games. Like they're gonna win this game. They won the last game as well. So it's madness. And then you got Steve, Dallas Cowboys. Welcome, Steve. I think this is the first time I've ever seen this YouTube handle before, but Steve goes on to say, I really understand why teams that do it like Indiana or Washington, but Sacramento, how can that help your team when you are the worst ever in picks and players history? Yeah, that's like teams like Sacramento, like they just make the wrong choices. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen a YouTube short of where in the Luka Doncic draft, they could have taken Luka. And there was a Sacramento Kings fan saying they didn't want Luka Doncic, that they wanted somebody else. And obviously we all know what Luka Doncic became. But you know, like, but that's the thing with the draft. Like, the draft isn't like an exact science. You know, like, yes, like, more than likely the top 3, the top 5 picks, the top 8 picks will kind of work out. But you know, yeah, you just never know. You know, I even look at this Jazz team, like Isaiah Collier was 29th. And I know everybody's going to say, well, you know, like, out of high school, he was the top ranked prospect. And it was only when he went to college, they kind of figured out that he wasn't a great shooter and that he was kind of small for his position. And then you got Filipowski there, who was 31. Like, but like, I get it. I just don't like it. But thanks for the comments there, James. And thank you very much for Steve. I really appreciate it. All right, Jazz Ball right now. We got 5 minutes and 48 seconds there. Filipowski there trying to go for a fadeaway. He misses on that. Jazz still up right now. 111 to the Jazz, 78 for the Sacramento Kings. Jazz are up, but I'm trying to make the calculations in my head right now. Jazz are up by 31. So the Jazz are still, dominating this game without even trying. That's a turnover there by Bryce. What are you doing, Bryce? Neat Clifford doing pretty well on that play. Neat Clifford's going to go to the line to shoot 2 on that one. All right, Neat Clifford's at the line to take a couple of shots. He hasn't had a pretty good game. I need, I still need to show you guys my dashboard where I'm tracking a lot of these young players and their progression over the last 5 years and where I think they're going to kind of stack up. Because there were some pretty interesting signs when we had Walter Clayton Jr. Like he was showing really good efficiency in comparison to some of the previous guys that have played. And when last time I looked at Ace Bailey, like Ace Bailey looked pretty solid. Like he wasn't in that tier 1 bracket of like, elite players, like face of the league level talent, but he was in that tier 2 where it was going to be like very good. Most likely going to be like an all-star, like a multiple team all-star guy. All right. Jazz conceded another bucket right now. Sacramento Kings there with 84. Jazz there with 111. All right, Jazz there with the ball. Filipowski right there doing a little spin move. Pass it there to Vince Williams Jr. That one goes in and out for Vince Williams. And then we going for my boy Daquan plowed in there trying to go for a layup but missed. Bryce there with a 3. And the Jazz are not even trying to play right now. We're just hacking up shots. Devin Carter right there with the ball after the missed 3 by Bryce. Kings right there playing really well, trying to do something. They don't manage to. Cardwell with another miss. Filipowski cleans up. Looks like that's going to be... No, it's still going to be Jazz ball on that one. We got 3.5 minutes left in this game. Bryce coming out. Ace Bailey coming in. Ace Bailey's going to play the 2. Great game by Bryce. Well, how many points is Bryce on? Bryce is on 19 points, 24 minutes. He's got 2 rebounds, no assists from Bryce. That's fine, Bryce. It's not fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. Like, you need guards to get assists. They don't have to get a lot, but like you got to get assists. Like, Steve, Dallas Cowboy fan says, like, if you see the bottom of the East, it's ridiculous how bad that they are. I could believe that. Hold on, you know what? Let me go take a look at the take a look at it, because I'm sure you're right. Because the East is bad. After you start getting outside the top 9, 10 teams, like that's where it like plummets. Yeah, like the Bulls are gonna get worse. The Bucks are gonna get worse. The Nets have been bad. The Pacers are god awful, and the Wizards are gonna find I get that. I get that. And then when you look at like the West, Like, I could honestly say it's really just the Kings that are bad in the West. I've watched the Pelicans play. Like, the Pelicans are actually quite fun to watch. The Jazz are fun to watch. The Mavs, I've watched them play. Like, they're pretty fun to watch. Grizzlies are fun to watch. Blazers are fun to watch. And the Blazers are 10th. But when you start looking at the East, when you start looking from 11 to 15, like, whoa, the Bulls are now intentionally trying to do it. Like, have you seen, like, after the trade deadline, like, they have no bigs? They don't have no bigs. They're going to be playing all guards in the top 5 positions. I'm actually going to try to watch Bulls game just to see how they do playing this way. All right, Jazz still up by 28. Make that 26. All right, Filipowski right there with the ball now. Received it from Vince Williams Jr. He's been back down. Oh, come on. It's a turnover there by Filipowski. That's not good, guys. That's not good. We're approaching 90 seconds in the game. I know I shouldn't be complaining because this game is over. Like, the Jazz are going to win this one. Washington have a real good future. Well, like, we'll see. We'll see. Like, I give it Trae Young. Yes. Anthony Davis. I do like their young players there that they have there, though. But, like, again, like, you have to see. You have to see how it all. Like, I think the Jazz are in a better position than them, if you want me to be honest, James Ward. Like, as soon as, like, you kept Lowry, you bring in Jaren Jackson Jr., where, like, he's young, but he's also not young, at the same time, where he's been in the league now, 8 seasons? Like the Wizards, like the Wizards still have a chance, but like this, like they're still quite far away from me. Like, I know everybody's looking at all the young talent that they have, and they do have a lot of good young talent there, but yeah, they're still not there. There's still just a lot of hope. Yeah, they got Trae Young, but they need at least 2 to 3 more young pieces to really show. And I think that they've got 2 of them. Alex Sarr really like, and what's his name? Keyshawn George or Keyshawn. I think it's how you pronounce it. If you take that away, yeah, I know they got some maybes on the bench. Like, they got Cam Whitmore, who, still around. Like, I know he's got some attitude problems, Cam Whitmore. At least that's what they're saying. That's another 3 there by Vince Williams Jr. Where's my megahorn? There we go. Jazz still up by 29 now. All right, Caldwell at the line now to shoot 2, missing the first one. I think he's been about 50% from the line. I think all the fans want him to miss because Jazz fans are going to get, I think, free nuggets, which I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Caldwell does get the last one in, and the fans are booing him, along with the Jazz players, because, yeah, they want the fans to get their free chicken. Nevertheless, the Jazz are up by 28. There's one more possession left. Vince Williams Jr. is doing the honorable thing and not slapping them in the face with another bucket. James Swart says we have a really bright future ahead. Our biggest problem will be salary cap, luxury tax now, but that's a good problem, I guess. I completely agree. I I think even before Jaren Jackson, I think we had a good future, but Jaren Jackson just like takes us well over the line. Like it is really good what the Jazz have in place now, and I really like it. I really do like it. Like there's no Jazz fan that should be not happy with what the Jazz are doing because I think that they're doing really, really well. Really, really well. They've got a great foundation with Jaren Jackson, with Lowry. Like I can't believe we've brought in Jaren Jackson without getting rid of Lowry. Like that's amazing. Like that's really amazing. Like you have to give it up to the Angels for doing that. Because that is something that like yeah, Jaren Jackson isn't known for being like this offensive animal, but he's a defensive player, and it's exactly what the Jazz need. And like, you still got Keontae George, who took it up another level. You still got Ace Bailey and what he's doing. You got Isaiah Collier there, who like looks like a John Stockton like type of player. You're looking at Filipowski, like Bryce Filipowski and Bryce Sensabaugh, like they could be like decent rotation players coming up off the bench. And you drafted these guys. Cody's improved. Like Cody looks like a viable NBA rotation player for the Jazz. Like last year's draft that was supposed to be the weakest. The Jazz looked like they hit on all three of them. And in that, all three of them look like at the bare minimum, they're a rotation player. That's what I mean. So, like, I like it. I like the Jazz are in a great spot. They have all the pieces there that they need to do to, play in the playoffs. And I think it looks good. And I'm saying this without even talking about the draft pick for this year. Because then once you factor that in, then, like, holy crap. Like, that then becomes a completely different story. Because if somehow, some way, they go and get a top 3 pick on top of what they have now, on top of the potential of Ace Bailey, and then you got the development of these young guys as well, it's like, whoa. Like, the Jazz really have something. And I think that they do. But I just hope we're able to, keep everyone together at least for the next 3 years, because eventually we won't be able to afford to do this for long without having to kind of like break things up. And I know eventually you talk there about staying on, with the salary cap and the luxury tax, like that's eventually going to be an issue, which is where a lot of these young players are going to come good. That's where Lowry might end up having to be traded, because young guys eventually they're gonna have to get paid, and unfortunately you just can't keep all of them, which sucks. But Jazz are in a fantastic position, really great position, and they're in a great position without this year's draft pick. And I think that they have the guys in the front office have done a great job. You say that, I think it will be better than Gobert when Gobert was there. I do. I think it will be. Walker Kessler and Rudy Gobert for me are on similar levels. Then you add in Jaren Jackson on there. That's how you have to think about it. And then you have to look at guys like, how good is Cody going to be defensively? How good is Ace Bailey going to be defensively? How good is Isaiah Collier going to be defensively? How good is this new draft pick that we get? They're going to be defensively. Once you start thinking about that, you're just going to be like, hold on, we could have, like, the Jazz could already have all the pieces to be, go far into the playoffs. So I think this team will be better than the Donovan Rudy era. Like I just think it will. It has too much talent now. It just has. And then if you factor in the draft pick for this year, it's like it could get to fantastic levels of success. But I think Utah Jazz fans, especially the long-time Utah Jazz fan, like I got a friend that's a Utah Jazz fan. He's been a Jazz fan since the Jazz were the New Orleans Jazz, since before they moved to Utah, and I hope the Jazz get a championship for someone like him, because he's been a dedicated fan for years, and he now is in his 50s. So someone like him, like Apollo is his name. I hope he's watching. Yeah, like I know he would love a championship. So yeah. But I think let's just look at some of the player stats before we go. Shout out, thank you very much for the 6 people there that's watching the stream. Much appreciated. We're just going to look at some of the player stats before I go. But yeah, also leave more comments there if you want, and do subscribe to the channel. So right now, this is the Jazz right now. I'm not going to really look into the Kings, because the Kings were like just terrible. Like they end up losing the game by what? 28-29. Like it wasn't good. It wasn't good by the Kings. But this is how it looked. So Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson, Jusuf Nurkic didn't really come back into the game, into the fourth. Isaiah Collier kind of came out. He ended the game on a double-double, 12 points, 14 assists. Great for him. We talked about him as well. Ace Bailey there, 30 points in his 30 minutes, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Like his overall performance, really good there from Ace Bailey. Just wait until next season, because you're going to see a lot more of an efficient Ace Bailey. That 13 points next season will turn into 18, 20 in 20 minutes. In my opinion. And if not next season, then definitely by year 3. Kevin Love there, I thought had a great solid performance from him. Filipowski didn't play a lot, so I can't really talk about him that much. But I thought Kevin Love was great. Cody Williams was great. Had a steal, I think 3 steals there from Cody, 2 assists from Cody, 5 rebounds from Cody, and 9 points. Cody Williams, at least according to the plus minus, was the best player off the bench for the Jazz, and probably joint tied for the second best player for the team. Really like Cody's performances this game. Knocking down threes this game as well. Just, again, another good solid performance from him. Hope he keeps it up. Bryce Sensabaugh, a good game from him. He offensively, beast coming up off the bench. 19 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal from him. I didn't notice John Conchar that much in the second half. So I'm not sure if he played much in the second half. Did notice him a bit in the first half, but again, like he only took 2 shots, only took 2 3-pointers. Just, yeah, want to see more from him. Still like Vince Williams Jr. Solid defensively from him. Overall, like really like what he gives to the team. Look at that, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 9 points. Like again, like he's been great for Isaiah Collier for that. Even though Keontae George isn't there, Vince Williams holding on the fort. So yeah, just really great performance from the guys. Really like what they're giving. And yeah, tomorrow we got the Trailblazers. I'll be streaming that one. And then we got the All-Star break. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do for the All-Star break. Normally, I don't, like, I'll watch the All-Star break, like, casually, but I won't watch it. So unless somebody tells me that, yeah, they want to see me do a stream for the All-Star game, like, I might do it. But I'm thinking of only, I'm thinking of only doing one for the Rising Stars game, but I haven't decided that quite yet. Project Fortnite says, good game. And then Vince Swartz says, more perimeter defense also. We had to rely too much on Royce O'Neal. Now we have multiple guys. Yes. Like this team right now is just better than that team. And I like that was the team, Rudy and Donovan. That got me into being a Jazz fan. Like I saw the potential there. So like I really understand, that team was good, really good. But I could understand why that team didn't really make it to the second round or didn't make it past the second round. Like it wasn't enough. This team, if everybody improves that little bit, and if Ace Bailey just gets to like Ace Bailey doesn't even have to be the second best player on the team or the best player on the team. But if he can just be almost like Keontae, if he can go out there and average 20 points a game, give you like 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block, that's all we need from Ace Bailey as a bare minimum. If he could do that, we're good. If the draft pick that we get could also do that as well, we're good. If Isaiah Collier could keep doing what he's doing right now, we're good. If Filipowski could be more consistent, we're good. And you add up all of those pieces with Kessler, Lowry, and JJJ, we're amazing. We're going to be amazing. Like, we are going to get far into the playoffs. Now, will we win? It will be a whole nother story. And that's where it'll be like fine margins. Like, oh, maybe we might need more players with playoff experience. And that's when, we might have to trade some of those guys, trade maybe like a Flip or trade maybe like a Bryson. But like we're 3-4 years down the line from that. And yeah, but it's going to be good. Segway says, what's your PSN play? I don't know what that means. PSN. And then you said play some Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite. I don't play. Listen, I'll play some 2K. And that's about it. But I'm always busy with work, this with YouTube, and every now and again I'll play a little bit of NBA, but that's about it. But yeah, like I because of YouTube, I actually don't have a lot of time to play like games as much. But that's about it. But yeah. But you know what? You know what? I've actually never played Fortnite. I've seen so many videos of it, but I've never played it. So yeah, maybe Segway. If you're playing Fortnite, I don't know if you do stuff like Twitch. I'll jump on a stream and watch you play, or I might have to just play with other people, and you guys could kind of handhold me down the journey. Like I got my Xbox here, so like I could play Fortnite if I wanted to, but yeah, I mainly use my Xbox for entertainment. Unfortunately, just don't have a lot of time to play games like that. But yeah, for me, that is it in terms of this stream. I'll be doing another one tomorrow for the Trailblazers game. Segway says, do NBA play? I could do that. Sure. Okay. All right. I'll do that. I need to see what the schedule is like because I think the All-Star game it's on the Saturday, if I believe. Whatever it is, I'll go sort it out, and I'll put up a live for it. Segway. You better join Segway because I can tell you one thing. I actually hate the format of this year. I think it's ridiculous. This whole like U.S. versus the world. Like I saw this last season. Like Charles Barkley picked all the international players except for someone that he just couldn't. Like there just wasn't enough at the time. But I'll watch I'll do one for you, Segue. And yeah, okay, I'll do one for you, and then we'll take it from there, Segue. But yeah, I'll see you guys all tomorrow for the Trailblazers game, and then I believe the All-Star game is on Saturday at some point, and then you'll probably see me on Saturday. But yeah, see you all next time.